Hello everyone, Blugoblin here with my comic book review for the first week of August 2010. 5 books to cover this week, 1 Marvel, 4 DCs. So let's go ahead and get started with a headache. Amazing Spider-Man 639. Joe, once again, fuck you. Fuck everything about you. And fuck Marvel for letting you do this stuff. This is ridiculous. I apologize for the language, but when I read garbage like this, it really tends to set me off. What is it about Joe Quesada that just screams bullshit? What is it about Quesada and his goddamn ego? I just don't get it. I don't get it. This story so far is making the Clone Saga look almost as badass as Blackest Night was. Yeah, it's that bad. I just... Marvel, please. You gotta do something about Joe Quesada, because this shit's fucking killing me. Get it out of here. Moving along, Batman Odyssey number 2. This was refreshing. I love Neil Adams' artwork. Again, I gotta say it, Neil Adams is my favorite Batman artist. And his artwork is still good, even after his retirement and, you know, special appearance story with this series. It's just brilliant. Sheer brilliance. The story writing, though, not as good, but good enough to be considered a great read. But it's the artwork that sells this book for me. The artwork alone is why I gladly spent $4 for this book. This was incredible. Like I've said, you know, a lot of great artists throughout the years, throughout the decades, have drawn Batman incredibly well. But in my personal and honest opinion, nobody did it better than Neil Adams. This was remarkable for the artwork. Not so much for the storytelling, but the artwork is what sells this book. And if you're a true, deep down-to-earth Batman fan, you will appreciate that series. Or at least I hope you will. Because Neil Adams is the man, as far as I'm concerned. Moving along, Red Robin, number 15. The Assassination of Tim Drake. Basically what this is yet another edition of the old bait-and-switch cliche, where you supposedly see Tim Drake and Red Robin at the same place at the same time, yet there's a swerve in here that's kind of predictable, but yet at the same time still a fun and interesting read, and a nice concept, even though it is a bit, even though this bit did feel a bit cliched. It's still a great series, still good character development, the writing is good, the artwork's okay, it's just, for what it is, it's simply just good. I wouldn't say it was great, I'm not going to say it's awesome, but I'm saying for what it is, in a nutshell, it's good. And truth be told, I'm glad I'm still on board with that series. Brightest Day number 7. Will Deadman wield the White Lantern? You have to read it to find out. Bazinga. Okay, Jeff Johns, Peter Tomasi. Like I said, they're great writers. But wow. This story is finally picking up. After so much slowness, this story is finally going somewhere. It's finally showing a purpose. It's finally making a statement. Wow! This was great! I loved what I read in here. I loved what I saw from Ivan Reyes. His artwork is fantastic. Pardon the autofocus. But yes, this was probably the easiest $2.99 I've spent for Brightest Day. Probably the easiest. Because now we're at a point where the story is finally going somewhere and it's finally showing what it's capable of. Maybe now we can get the ball rolling and make this story probably not as good, but probably just a notch below on the goodness scale for where Blackest Night was. It's not going to be as good as Blackest Night was. Let's just face that. But maybe now Johns and Tomas can get the ball rolling to make it go a little higher up on the awesome scale. But this was good. Very, very good. But it's not the pick of the week. What does get the pick of the week is this. Yeah, I think you might have already guessed it by now. Secret 6, number 24. Gail Simone. Thank you for not. You scared me with the last issue when it appeared that you didn't write the last issue, even though the last issue was great. I kind of got a little scared because I don't like to read solicits. I don't like to read solicits because I don't like to be spoiled when it comes to comic books. I don't like to read future solicits from 4, 5, 6 months in advance to know what's going to happen. I like to be surprised. And you know what? I honestly thought, oh God, Gail Simone's leaving the title. No. But thank God she didn't. She's back, and this was great. This was really great. But maybe I'm just being biased because I'm a sucker for Secret 6. This is great. I loved it. It takes place in the Old West. But who cares? It's great storyline. It's great storytelling, great character development, great artwork, great everything. I love this. This was bitchin'. That's all I'm gonna say. I loved it. You know, I think they're trying to give a wink and a nod to like the return of Bruce Wayne and have it take place in the Old West. You know, with the Secret 6 being involved. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this at this particular point in time. But all I know is I enjoyed the hell out of this book. I enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed looking at the artwork. I enjoyed the storytelling, the character development, the plot, everything. I loved it. Great stuff from Gail Simone and excuse me, and California. But I hope I pronounced that name right. But this was great. And the best part, I'm going to go ahead and slightly spoil this. The best part was between Bane and Slade Wilson. That's all I'm going to say. Get this book. This was incredible. And that's all I got. I had to put that book down before I totally nerded out. Great stuff, once again, from Gail Simone. Gail, you are awesome. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, everyone, see you later.